Okay, good evening, students. Thank you again to join the class fourth. I think today is day fourth, right? So let us try to. So today we are going to discuss factors affecting teaching, to understand what influence teaching effectiveness, right? So let us quickly recap what we did yesterday. First of all, we try to understand learners' characteristics, two type of learners, adolescent and adult learners, and then in case of adolescent learners, we know that they are peer influenced and they are developing, and especially adult learners, they are self-directed and experienced. So individual differences, we understood BARK, and then multiple intelligences, then intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Madhuswita, what is BARK? Madhuswita, are you there? Shivani, what is BARK? Shivani is not present. Madhuswita, you are not able to unmute yourself? Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Chinmay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is BARK?
Sir, visual, audio visual,
Hmm.
uh, R stand for
See, you have not covered, means.
visual organ.
Okay,
The
anyone else?
visual learning, visual learning, auditory learning, kinesthetic learning,
Kinesthetic. R.
ଆଟା ହଉଛି reading writing learning.
Reading, writing.
Reading
Are you sure reading, writing? Chinmay? Who will tell? Let us see.
ଆଟା ହଉଛି
Okay. Visual. Ah, yes. Chinmay is correct. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, reading. Okay. Thank you. All Sapna, and I think she has also rightly written. So, thank you all. We will recap again. 1 second. So, also, okay, Karishma also has rightly mentioned. Now, differentiated instruction needed. That is what we have understood, that because students are different, your learners are different, so you need actually different type of instruction according to the your learners. Now, what is today's what we are going to discuss? What makes teaching effective, right? And what are the 6 major factors affecting teaching and how they interconnect with themselves. So let's try to focus today's agenda. So today we are going to discuss introduction to teaching factors, teacher related factors, learner related factors, support material factors, instructional facilities, learning environment, institution related factors, interconnection of factors, and we will practice some questions, and the key takeaways. So the let's start. What affects teaching? So what is the most important question over here? Why is teaching effective in some situations but not in others? Because as a teacher, this question is very important because we all have experienced that sometimes teaching is effective, sometimes it is not. Now, what are those factors? So, teaching effectiveness depends on the teacher's abilities, the learner's readiness, then available resources, physical facilities, classroom environment, and institutional support. You can see all these factors are very important. So, what are those six major factors? Please write it down, or you can say already the PPT is already shared with you, so you can go through that. So, learner, institution, facilities, teacher, environment, and support material. Then only the teaching will be effective. Now, let us start with teacher related factors, because you can see over here teachers is the most important part of this ecosystem. Now the question is, why teachers matters most? Teacher is the most critical factor in teaching effectiveness. There are four major areas. One is subject knowledge, teaching skills, teacher personality, and professional development. So these are the four important, you can say, areas where the teacher can actually improve themselves, right? And these are very important dimensions of a good teacher, especially. Uh, Good subject knowledge doesn't mean that he will be a good teacher. He need so many other things also. Another three important dimensions. So teaching skills are equally important. Similarly, teacher personality is also important. And up to the, like, you can say that if I have like studied long back, but I have to also go through various professional courses also to make my teaching effective, or constantly I have to upgrade. Now let's discuss one by one. One is first one is subject knowledge. In case of subject knowledge, what it includes? One is deep understanding of the content, right? Uh, the teacher should have a thorough knowledge of latest developments, then interdisciplinary connections. The teacher should be able to connect other discipline also. Means your knowledge is not just like if I am a student of economics, so sometimes I can also connect logic, philosophy also, right? Then research awareness, because research is very important dimension when it comes to teaching in higher education. And why it matters, subject knowledge, why it is so important? Because students confidence will be having like student confidence largely depends on teacher only. And if the student is having subject knowledge, then he will be able to answer questions correctly, and it will provide depth to the teaching. Otherwise the teaching, there will be no depth, only it will be monotonically or boring teaching. So impact of weak knowledge, especially students lose respect, cannot they like the teacher cannot answer the doubts, stick to only textbook only, or the teachers so fear the student questions, maybe like the teacher will be having outdated informations, like because they are only, it will be confined to the book only. Then now question is, if someone is not having good subject knowledge, what they will do? They can do continuous reading. They will attend conferences, and you should write research paper. You should attend online courses. Like for example, I always encourage my department faculty members to actually do all these activities. Like then, if you think that okay, we are just teaching, and what is the need of attending conferences? Why we should write research paper? Why you should write attend online courses? But because it is very much required to improve your subject knowledge. Now, let us try to understand some of the examples of subject knowledge. Suppose for an economics teacher, subject knowledge is, you should know strong knowledge. You should know GDP theory plus current India GDP data plus global comparison plus limitation. Like if I think some of you, because most of you are from my class only, if I remember, Madhusmita, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you remember, I told I always encourage to go to the World Bank database, right? World Bank
Yes,
development indicators, isn't
yes,
it?
sir. Yes,
When you
sir.
are teaching actually GDP, and then our world in data also, it's a very good website. I will
Yes,
also take you through economics when we will start economics.
yes,
Okay,
sir.
you can mute yourself now, no problem. So, a good economics teacher should have all this. If you will say that, okay, I know GDP, the formula, why, what is the need of actually doing all this? It is a wastage of time. Then it is like your subject knowledge is not there. So, weak knowledge is, you only know the GDP formula, C plus I plus Z plus X minus M from the textbook. So similarly, in the case of physics teacher also, suppose you are trying to explain the Newton's law, you should be able to show them some modern applications and then historical development. Suppose in the case of history teacher, he should know basically the dates plus causes plus different interpretation plus recent research. Likewise. Next important dimension of a good teacher is teaching skills, that is pedagogical skills. Now, what are those key teaching skills? How you can identify those skills? Please remember, please write it down in your notebook. What is important over here is uh, pedagogical content knowledge, right? So, this one is the most important. Which one? This part. Pedagogical content knowledge, or in short, PCK. Okay. Classroom management and communication skills, questioning techniques, assessment design, time management. Right. So PCK is very important. It is a special skill. If you are having, or you are conscious, or you are having a idea about your own subject, or you are aware about what is PCK, then you know how to teach a topic, not just what to teach, right? So example of PCK is, teach abstract concept. A teacher can simplify difficult topics, use right examples, he can anticipate misconceptions, he can design effective activities, right? Suppose if a teacher is not having PCK, then what will happen? Like it will be a boring delivery, right? No interaction, means your audience, basically our students will not having an interaction. Then you will be having poor time management. You are supposed to complete within a time frame, but you are not completing, and you are not able to explain clearly. So these are the four, you can say, uh, teaching skills. Okay, Ajay sir is there. One second. Yeah. So this is very important, right? Okay. Now next we'll go to, this is actually creating some problem. Let me, okay. So now PCK example, let us try to understand PCK examples, right? I hope all of you have written down what is PCK, right? So suppose one example is you are teaching demand curve or the law of demand in economics. So you start with some real world example, like let's say that onion price or any you can say contemporary or seasonal vegetable or any real world data, and where you draw the curve and explain the theory. Suppose if you are not aware about PCK, what you will do is just you will draw the demand curve and show that okay, there is an inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. So it is like you have memorized and just you will go and tell that. But if you are really concerned about, like if you will see, you are having pedagogical content knowledge or PCK, you are aware about it, and you are a good teacher, then your teaching will be completely different, right? So similarly, there are other you can say examples. Suppose political science, right? If a teacher is having PCK, means you can like suppose for example you can, the teacher can conduct the mock election and discuss process and compare the different you can say system, right, which are alternative or you can say parallel school of thought. But if a teacher is not having PCK, he will simply just define democracy and he will stop over there, right? So that is why PCK is so important in teaching. Then teacher personality, right? What are the positive traits? What are the negative traits? What are the impact of positive traits? And what will be the impact of negative traits? First, let's focus on the positive traits. First of all, enthusiasm for the subject. Means the teacher should be very highly motivated to teach a subject, right? And the teacher should have patience with the students. This is very important. And approachability. You should be like a friend. And fairness. There is no clear-cut favoritism or any biasness, okay, based on any criteria. And sense of humor, confidence, empathy, flexibility. Now, you all assess yourself that what are the positive traits you are having. And I always say, like it is just a personality development. When I used to take the faculty development courses basically. So always a teacher should write all the positive traits they are having. And what would be the impact of positive traits? Students feel comfortable, better participation, positive class climate, and student motivation will increase. That is most important. Now let's say that if what are the negative sides or negative traits or qualities of the teacher personality? Arrogance means I know everything, no one knows anything. Then impatience, favoritism, rigidity, sarcasm, unapproachable, demotivating. So these are the negative qualities of a teacher personality. Now what are the impact if a teacher, unfortunately if this negative teacher is there in the classroom, then students will fear asking doubts. There will be low participation rate, there is a negative atmosphere, and gradually the students will lose or avoid the subject. So that is why teacher personality is so important, and personality affect learning as much as knowledge. Okay, that is why personality is very important. Next, we'll go to the next. Okay, first we'll see some of the teacher personality, some real scenario questions. Suppose let's say that scenario 1, some student ask stupid question, then what you are going to do? Suppose a negative teacher will quickly ask, what a silly question, why not you listening? Now the result is student will never ask, and gradually also others will be also scared to ask, right? Now positive teacher, okay, it's a good question, let me explain again. So the result is students will feel comfortable, and gradually others will also ask freely. Is it clear? So let's go to the next scenario. Scenario 2, student makes mistake. So the negative teacher is, you are always getting this wrong. Result is students feel demotivated, they develop fear. But positive teacher, it's a good try. Here is where we need to adjust. The result is student learns from mistake and stay motivated. Like for example, I know yesterday I gave you for last 3 days I am sending you Economic Times, and I think one student, I think Chinmay madam has shown me some notes, how she is preparing her notes, and others must be doing. I think Madhusmita and others must be doing. But let's say that if I will ask all the 10 or 15 whoever you are attending, what are those important information you got from last 3 days Economic Times? Is there any information for you? Now, if I am a bad teacher, then I will just shout at you. You are not getting any information like that. But yes, if I am a positive teacher, I will try to motivate you so that you will start reading the newspaper, and gradually you will be able to see some important information which is there in the newspaper for UGC also, as well as overall knowledge perspective. So similarly, next important dimension of a good teacher is professional development. Now, what is professional development? So it will come through, or you can say professional development is a continuous learning process, right? How I can upgrade myself, what is happening in my field, and then skill upgradation. I should always upgrade my skill, staying updated with current world, all the recent developments, and improving my teaching. I should always keep trying how to improve my teaching. Then career advancement. I should always go for better or higher, target or higher, how I can advance my career. So what are those methods? Workshop, seminars I should attend, faculty development program, online courses, MOOC, and higher qualifications, PhD. So that is why I always encourage all of my faculty members in my department to go for PhD, to attend online courses, to attend faculty development programs, because those are very important dimensions. Now let's say that what are the benefits of professional development? You will be having updated knowledge. You will be aware about new teaching methods. Then better confidence, career growth, networking, recognition, and without PD is like professional development short form. Your teaching will be outdated, students will feel very boring, same methods forever. Means last 30 years you will find that some professors are there, they are teaching the same way, right? So it is like stagnation. Okay. Now teacher already we have discussed. Now let's focus on the learner related factors. What are the learner related factors? This is very interesting session we are having today, because I think after today's session there will be only 3 more days to go for completing the unit 1 of paper 1 syllabus. So that is why next 3 days is also very important. So now let us try to focus the student role, right? Teaching cannot be effective if learners are not ready or willing. This is very important part actually. So you will say that okay, the teacher is there, all the 4 dimensions of a good teacher is there in the class. But now I am inside the class, but still my students who are the most important, they are very precious. But now if they are not ready or they are not willing, then how I will be teaching them? So definitely without learners teaching cannot be effective. So now let us try to understand what are those important areas or learner related factors which are which will make the teaching effective also. So 5 key areas again here. One is motivation and interest, prior knowledge, learning capacity, study habits, attitude toward learning. So now these 5 factors should be guiding, or these are the traits or factors which will help a student to be actually a good learner, right? Now the question is, you cannot force anyone to learn. So unless until the student willingness is there, not there. So students' willingness is the most crucial. Now first we will focus on the motivation and the interest. How motivation can be actually or how we can analyze or track whether the student is having motivation and interest or not, because as a teacher we can identify that, right? So whether a student is having high motivation, how to know? The student will attend the classes regularly, they will participate actively, complete the assignment, study beyond the syllabus, they will ask question, they will take initiative. Now when I will see that my students are highly motivated, definitely I will go one step beyond whatever I am that, because that will keep me motivating to keep going, right? So now the teacher role is teacher can also motivate the students. They can make subject interesting, they will show relevance, they will use real examples, then the students will be also having higher motivation. So it is a two-way process, it is not just one way. I cannot just simply blame my students, okay, that okay they are not good or they are not reading, but I have to help them to improve their motivation. Now the question is, why there are low motivation? First one is, you just see if a student is having low motivation, they will skip classes. Like for example, which the challenge we are facing also, because this is a very good example. Like why students are not coming to the class? Because of low motivation. They know that even though we are not going to come to the class, we will write the exam, but that is not the objective, and that will not have any positive impact on them, right? So if a student is having low motivation, it means there will be no participation, they will do last minute study, they will do minimum effort, they are disinterested for any challenge or any learning activities, they are attending the class only for the marks. Causes are one important factor is boring teaching, no relevance seen, or fear of failure. These 3 are, there might be some, you will say that there are many more causes, But these are very important, and as a student you should be able to analyze whether you are highly motivated or you are having low motivation. But the teacher role is very important over here in both these, like you can say, to motivate the students. Now let's see some of the motivation examples. Okay, suppose there is a chemistry student and he's having high motivation. So let's say that how you will observe this, that the student is having highly motivated. What are those behavior? They will conduct extra experiment. They will read the research paper. They will ask advanced questions. Result is deep learning and excellent performance. Now teacher support. They will provide challenging problem. They will give research opportunity. Now let's say that low motivation for economic students. Let's see that. Then how I will identify as a teacher? Behavior: attends irregularly. They studies only for the exam. There is no interest. Result is surface learning, poor retention. You will not be able to say anything after 1 year or after even if one semester. Now, as a teacher, what should be our strategy? Our strategy is to use current news, relate to career, and to make it interactive. Then only a student who is having low motivation, you can influence them, you can inspire them. Okay. Even if in the some of the faculty interview also they ask this kind of student questions also. Like if your students having low motivation, how you will actually improve them the teaching. Then next is prior knowledge and prerequisites. Why it matters. Again, we always know that we are now focusing on the learner part, right? Why it matters? Because new learnings always builds on the old. You will not say that okay, today is a new concept or new topic I am starting, so I'll start fresh. Obviously, it will be coming from your previous knowledge. Whatever you are going to, suppose for example, today our session, obviously it is dependent upon last 3 classes what we did, right? Then gap causes problems. Then foundation essential, means foundation is very important. Prerequisite is missing. Okay. Prerequisite is not there means it is basically prerequisite missing is basically it's a struggle, right? So if you are not having foundation means you will be struggling. Now let's say that if you are having a learner is having the strong foundation, then he or she will learn quickly. He or she will connect new to the old. They will ask deeper questions. There will be less confusion. So, weak foundation. If a learner is having weak foundation, he or she will be struggle constantly. He cannot follow. He will get frustrated. He or she may give up. Example, in the math, calculus needs algebra. Without algebra, you cannot learn the calculus. Economics, micro before. Okay, there are some issues. No problem. So, chemistry, you should know what are the atoms before the molecules. Language, grammar before the literature. You just see why nowadays there is a problem, right? Then in this case, what teachers should do, I think you should read the notes very carefully. I think because here you will see that some of these solutions are not clearly coming here. I'll try to correct this. Next is learning capacity and study habits, right? So, how we can actually increase, or you can say learning capacity can be enhanced. One is what are the factors? One is cognitive abilities, attention span, it varies, memory strength, processing speed, retention ability, understanding depth, and why there will be individual differences. Some learn faster, some need more time, different strengths, right? Then good study habit is basically regular study schedule, active note taking, regular revision, time management, organized material, focused attention. I think for UGC NET, a good student, good study habits should have this, right? And poor study habits, irregular study, last minute cramming, no notes. So then you are not going to get the success. Next is attitude towards learning. Positive attitude. I always encourage a positive attitude in the learners. First is the growth mindset. Means wherever you are, even though some of you are like maybe struggling with the basic earning the basic necessity of life, even if someone is comfortable, always you should have in your mind that no, I am not satisfied, I want to grow further. Okay, that is important. Correct. So now I can learn this. If you are having a growth mindset, then only you will have this attitude that I can learn this. You will always take, or you are the one who will take the challenges. You will learn from the mistake. You will make persistent effort, and you see value in education. So these are the positive attitude, and I will always encourage that you should have a positive attitude towards the UGC NET exam. Then only we will be able to crack it. Some days, let's say that the class will not be interesting. Whether you will stop reading? No. You will go to the material and you will see that if you are having a positive attitude, then what you will do is you can learn, or you can go through the material, the sections which I am covering, right? And some questions, even though you will see that, you will think that they are very simple, but you will not able to answer. The reason is you have not gone through the material. So if you are having a positive attitude, you will keep on trying. So if you are having positive attitude, you will see that result is a better performance. You will overcome the difficulties, right? Negative attitude means you are having a fixed mindset. Always you will say, I cannot do this. This is very wrong way. You will avoid challenges, fear of failure. What will happen? I will fail. These are actually, you should keep these words out of your dictionary. You give up the very easily. Education is useless. You don't see any value in the education. Then what will be the result? Poor performance and self-fulfilling prophecy. Means basically whatever you are actually, you will be able to defend yourself, even though it is a negative thing. You will try to defend. Now next important dimension is support materials. They are also very important. Why materials matters? Because even the best teacher need good resources to teach effectively. Suppose for example, if I am teaching you, we have planned, because I think we have planned very carefully all the study materials before the week 1. Similarly, because it is a very long course, if I will not have good materials, then my teaching cannot be effective, right? So that is why I think I have already, along with Madhusmita, we have planned very meticulously that how we will deliver the UGC NET course, because this is a very 6-month course. It is a rigorous course. Without good material, students will not be motivated, right? And there will be continuous assessment. So that is why materials matters most. So there are 3 categories of support materials. One is textbook, study materials, teaching aids, and reference materials. And quality also matters. If you are having poor quality materials, means it is equal to poor quality teaching. Outdated books, if you are following outdated books, means outdated knowledge. So that is why support materials are very important. Now how you can improve, or what are these 3 dimensions, we will quickly go through it, because I think today the session is getting a little lengthier. Textbook and study material. So good textbook is well written, clear. It should be curriculum aligned. It should have updated content. It should be error free, appropriate level, right? Then good examples, practice question, affordable or available. Impact, students learn independently and teacher has a reference, and then it will lead to the structured learning, right? Poor textbook, unclear explanations, outdated information, full of errors, too difficult or too easy, both are also problematic. No examples, they are expensive or unavailable. Impact is students are confused, teacher also struggles, and there will be a gap in the learning, and moreover there will be wrong information. And you can say some of the example, good textbook example are NCERT, right? So what is NCERT? Please write in the chat box. So NCERT books are good quality, and some private publishers, why we discourage to read some very cheap private publisher, because of these reasons, okay? And that is why we strongly discourage. Now teaching aids, nowadays it is very important. Now let's try to understand what are the okay, thank you Madhusmita. National Council of Educational Research and Training. So this is one very important question. So now let's see again, we'll go back. Visual aids. Now why teaching aids are very important, charts and diagrams, models and specimens, posters and flashcards, maps and globes. I think some of the teachers, even if when I have gone through a very important teachers training in my career, one of my teacher, she told me that to use visual aids, okay? All the time, don't think that you will get a computer or LED screen before you. You can even if think of doing some innovate ideas of using artifacts in your classroom. You can use map or globes. If you are a history teacher, you can use map or globes, and you can have poster, flashcard, right? So all these are very important. Now audiovisual, videos, documentaries, you can show them, audio recordings, animations, PowerPoint presentation. So this one which we are having is audio visual basically. Now for this what we need is physics, we need apparatus, chemistry we need chemicals and glassware, biology we need microscopes and specimens, geography we need survey tools, and smart technology basically smart boards, projectors, tablets, and document cameras. Now, teaching aids. What are the different subject? Example, economic class. Suppose if I am teaching topic the inflation, then what aids I can use, because most of you are from economics background. So now you can see we can use graph showing price rise over years, which I usually tell in the class. Now question is, you will say, sir, the computer is not there, I am facing problem. No, today everyone is having mobile phones. So you can use mobile phones. You can ask the students to use their mobile phones to see the inflation graph. Right? Go to World Bank Development Indicator database and see the inflation, how it is increasing. Then video on the RBI policy, calculator for CPI calculation, right? So you can use, actually, you have to be innovative. Then only your class will be interesting. In fact, there will be visual understanding of the abstract concept. Means the students will be able to understand, and that is the satisfaction you will get from your class when the students will show the improvement. Now, what are the reference materials? Because this is very crucial, because if you want to be a good teacher, you should know where you will get the reference materials, from where you will teach, types, research journals and papers. Now, for example, I am teaching financial economics. I should be aware about what are the important research paper or journals in my research, my study area in the financial economics. Suppose Madhusmita is teaching development economics. So she should be aware about what are the very good journals in her own area. And in some of the interview, you will be not prepared, but they will ask you, okay, you have taught economic development. Can you tell us some of the good journals? So they will check whether the teacher is aware about all this or not. Then supplementary books, encyclopedias, dictionaries, online databases. I'll give you extensive training of online database like JSTOR, Google Scholar, how you can use them. When we will discuss research aptitude, there I will take you through all this. Then previous year examination papers. Always the reference material should be your previous year examination paper. Now, as a good teacher, when you are given a course, you should go to the library and browse through what are the type of questions which are coming in this course. Then, last but not the least, government reports and statistics. These are very crucial. Suppose Chinmay madam is teaching public finance, then she should go back to the India budget data or indiabudget.nic.in and show the students this is last 4-year deficit, and this is how deficit is, fiscal deficit is happening. This is how effective revenue deficit. Or you give the students based on the formula to calculate them. Suppose now one question is like the data is already there, the fiscal deficit is there, revenue deficit is there, primary deficit is there. But as a teacher, what I have done? I should be able to tell the students, I will give them some number, okay, and tell the students to calculate fiscal deficit, calculate the primary deficit. Then only it will be clear. The students will be motivated. And why it is important? It is beyond textbook knowledge. Latest research finding is very important. Different perspectives is important. And it will show your depth of understanding. Now next is instructional facilities. These are also very crucial part, because without physical infrastructure, you will not be able to do anything. So physical infrastructure is very crucial, and this is the environment where teaching happens significantly affect the quality. Okay, suppose for example, in our college versus IIT versus IM. So you will see all the global institutions or the institution with national importance. You will have excellent infrastructure. Okay. Now, if physical infrastructure is very important, what are those two categories? First one is physical infrastructure, second one is the technological infrastructure. Now, but at the same time you should know what are the reality, stark reality. Good facility means effective teaching is possible. But let's say that little I will just change it. Let's say that an institution is having all the good facilities, but still the teaching is not possible. Now you will go back and you will see that why you are not motivated, the learners are not motivated, what are those factors, and why your teachers are also not motivated. But what we are saying that if a good infrastructure is in place, physical infrastructure, then effective teaching is possible. Then next is poor facilities. Let's say that there is very poor physical infrastructure. Now, even a best teacher will also struggle, okay, to deliver. Now, what are those dimensions of physical infrastructure? Classroom requirements, it should be having adequate size, not overcrowded, proper sitting arrangements, good ventilation, sufficient lighting, you should have a blackboard or whiteboard, sound quality, acoustics, cleanliness, temperature control, laboratory, basically laboratory facilities, science labs should have lot of all these facilities. Then library, in library you should have book collections, journals and magazines, reading space, study areas, it should be quiet environment, it should go beyond the extended hours. And other spaces, seminar halls, auditorium, discussion rooms. These are very important. Now, you'll say that most of the colleges are still the government is trying to improve all the physical infrastructure, I think across different colleges, government colleges in Odisha. Because I have extensively taught across the country, so I found that colleges in Odisha, they are having better physical infrastructure compared to the other colleges. So, overcrowded classroom, let's say that there are 100 students in the room for 60, then problem is the students cannot see the board, they will not able to hear the teacher, there is no space for the activities, they will be uncomfortable, they will be distracted. Now, what is the result? Poor learning despite you are having a good teacher, excellent teacher. Now, let's say that there is no lab equipment. Let's say that in the chemistry, there is no lab equipment. What will happen? You will see that only theory, there is no practical, you are not conducting any experiment, concepts remain abstract. Now, what is the result? Student will struggle, they will lose the interest. Poor lighting and ventilation, eye strain, headache, drowsiness, and they cannot concentrate. Result is physical discomfort affects the learning. Now, let's see the technological infrastructure. ICT facilities, Wi-Fi, internet access, computer labs, projector in the classroom, smart boards, audio systems, video conferencing. And you should have learning management system, Moodle, Google Classroom, online assignment submission, digital gradebooks. Benefit, you should have access to online resources, digital presentation, virtual labs, simulation, online discussions, recorded lectures. You should have hybrid and online classes, means your system should be flexible. Challenges, they are expensive to set up, they need maintenance, they need technical support. Learning environment, What is it? The psychological and social atmosphere in which learning takes place. There are three key aspects: classroom climate, peer relationship, emotional environment. These are the three key aspects. What are the critical point? Positive environment means student feel safe, motivated, engaged. Negative environment means there will be fear, anxiety, disengagement. That is why environment is very important, right? Learning environment. So again, there are three important parts, right? Classroom climate, peer relationship, emotional environment. Now, classroom climate, positive climate, psychological safety, students feel valued, respect, teacher-student respect is there, open communication, mistakes are learning, collaborative atmosphere, orderly but flexible, and there should be encouragement. Then what will be the result? If the classroom climate is very positive, you will see the high participation among the students. The negative climate, fear and anxiety, there will be harsh discipline only, there is no respect, one-way communication, mistakes punished, competitive only, rigid rules, criticism dominant. Then what will happen? Low participation among the students. This is why it is very important. Peer relationship, if there is a positive peer relation, then peer means basically your classmates, right? And supportive classmates, study group form, peer tutoring happens, healthy competition, collaborative learning, you will share the resources. What will be the impact on learning? You will learn from each other. The motivation increases. Negative peer relation, bullying, isolation, unhealthy competition, jealousy, no cooperation, peer pressure. And what will be the impact on the learning? Negative peer relation, there will be impact on the anxiety, stress, and they will avoid the school. Emotional environment, what it includes? Stress level, manageable versus overwhelming. Emotional support available. Encouragement versus discouragement. Recognition of efforts. Feedback constructive versus destructive. Teacher empathy. Now, stress-free environment, students comfortable asking doubts, mistakes seen as learning opportunity, balance between challenge and support, mental health awareness. Okay, so that's emotional environment. Now, institution-related factors. Institutional context, college, university policy and culture significantly affect teaching. There are four key areas: administrative support, curriculum design, evaluation system, institutional culture. So these are very important. So you cannot skip any one of them. Now, administrative support, academic freedom, basically teaching method, resource allocation budget, professional development opportunity, manageable workload, recognition of good teaching, support for innovation, fair policies. What will happen? Then teachers will be motivated. Now, unsupportive administration, micromanagement, one person is managing everything, no resources, no training opportunity, overloaded teachers, no recognition, rigid policies, focus only on the research or admin. Any one of them. Like we are only focusing on the admin. That is also not good. Now, teachers demotivated, teaching quality suffers. Now, curriculum and evaluation. If you are having a good curriculum, it is relevant and updated. It should be aligned with the industry. It should be flexible. It should be having theory practice balance. It should have clear learning objectives. It should be interdisciplinary links. Poor curriculum, outdated content, rigid structure, only theory and no practical, and good evaluation, because curriculum and evaluation are very important. So good evaluation is fair and transparent. There should be continuous assessment, multiple methods, not just the exam, formative That should be evaluation. We will be discussing more on the evaluation, I think, tomorrow. Formative as well as summative, timely feedback, focus on learning. Good evaluation system. Poor evaluation, only final exam, memorization focused, no feedback. Institutional culture, quality focused culture, teaching valued not just the research, student centered approach, innovation encouraged, continuous improvement, collaboration among faculty, ethics and integrity, inclusivity and diversity. Impact will be overall excellence. It will attract good teachers and students, and there will be better outcomes. Now, all these factors are interconnected. That is the most important takeaway, or what the lesson we have learned. Now, example, let's try to understand one example. Now, teaching economics, I am teaching GDP concept. Teacher is having knowledge. He is aware about he or she is aware about PCK. He is aware about he is also enthusiastic. Now, what are the important parts? Learners. You can say teacher is the most. It will start. Then because we have started with all these are different. There are various stakeholders. Learners, they are motivated. They have the basic math knowledge. Materials, you are having good textbook. Current data are available. Facilities, projector for graphs, internet for real-time data. Environment, positive climate, student comfortable are asking questions. Institution, they will support innovation. There is a flexible curriculum. I think NEP is at least on the paper, you are having NEP is encouraging flexible curriculum. Okay. So what will be the outcome? If you are having all of this in place, it is excellent teaching and learning. If any one factor is weak, then the effectiveness will reduces. Now, next is compensation between the factors. Now, as a teacher, we know that we will not get all the factors present in one institution. So, now what should be our answer? Is partially yes. Now, let's say that the question is, can one factor compensate for another? Suppose if you are not having one facility or one factor is not there, but not completely. How? Excellent teacher can overcome poor facility to some extent. If I am a very good teacher, even the physical infrastructure is not in place, but still I can make out. Good materials cannot compensate for bad teacher. Suppose you are having good materials, but the teacher is bad. Then nothing can happen. Highly motivated students can learn despite challenges. This is a proven fact. We know that from like lot of students who struggle with even if to earn basic necessities in the life, who struggle, they're not having the economic background, but if they are highly motivated, they can learn even whatever the personal challenges they are facing. Perfect infrastructure cannot replace the teacher expertise. If a teacher is not having the expertise, even the infrastructure is perfect, then nothing is going to happen. Now, what is the ideal situation? All factors working together is needed for the effectiveness of delivery, teaching and learning. Both. Focus on improving all factors, not just the one. Now, all the theory comes to end for today. Now, we'll do a quick quiz based on what we did during this session. Please give the answer in the chat box very quickly. Okay, so that we will be able to wind up our session. So, PCK, that is pedagogical content knowledge. A teacher, already we have discussed that a teacher should have PCK. It refers to what? Subject knowledge only, teaching methods only, how to teach specific topics, classroom management. I think Chinmay and Sapna has already applied. So thank you. Madhusudha has also applied. So I am able to say it. Right? All the answers. Now let's see what are the answer. Answer is C. So thank you so much. What is C? How to teach Because if you are having only, because all of you have answered subject knowledge only, but specific topic is very important, because if you know like PCK, then you are having, definitely you are having subject knowledge, but also you should know how to teach it effectively. So subject knowledge only, teaching methods only, how to teach specific topic, and classroom management. Other three are there, but the C is very important over here because specific topics are target oriented. Now let's see next question, which is a learner related factor. Yes, teacher subject knowledge, students prior knowledge, classroom infrastructure, textbook quality. B, learner related factor. Okay, very good. Chinmay also same thing. Manushree is also saying the same answer. Okay, now let's see what is the answer. Answer is B. Very good. Ajay and others. Thank you so much. Let's see. What is the explanation? Learner related means factors related to the student characteristics. Okay. So students prior knowledge is very important because if you are not having prior knowledge, then there is a problem because it is directly related to the learner related factor, not teacher subject knowledge, classroom infrastructure. They are not related. Okay. So next question. Let me see. Question number 3. Psychological safety in the classroom refers to. Okay. The answer is here. Okay, no problem. Psychological safety in the classroom refers to physical security. Student feels safe to participate without fear. Fire safety measures, health insurance. Okay, very good. So Madhusudha has rightly answered. Students feel safe to participate without fear. Explanation is psychological safety is equal to emotional comfort to take risk in the learning. Okay, very good. This one is not having the answer here. So let us see who all are answering it correctly. Which factor is most critical for teaching effectiveness? Physical infrastructure, teacher competence, latest technology, expensive textbook. Yes, quick, students. Which one you think is the most critical for teaching effectiveness? I don't see any answer so far. Chinmay. Is there any problem with the question? Madhusudha?
Sir, answer is B, sir.
Okay, you are not able to write in the chat box?
Sir, I repeatedly write in 3 times.
Okay, very good. Maybe it is not visible to me. That is the reason. Answer is B, teacher competence. Explanation is teacher is the most critical factor. He can partially compensate for other weakness. That is why in our colleges we are focusing on the teacher competence. If it will be there, other things, even though whether it is there or not, they can overcome. Next question, very good. Continuous professional development help teacher to what? Yes, Padushinda?
Answer is D.
Okay, very good. D, all of the above. Because professional development includes knowledge, methods and skill upgradation, right? So these are actually, all these are very important. Now let us try to wind up our discussion. So this today it was a very important session. So what we have learned, let us try to summarize so that you can remember or you can focus. There are 6 major factors. Teacher should have knowledge, skills, personality, and they will continuously, they should be developing themselves through professional development. plans. Learner, they should be having motivation, prior knowledge, capacity, habits, attitude, support material, textbook, teaching aid, references, facilities, physical infrastructure, technology, environment, classroom climate, peer relation, emotional support. Institution, they will give admin support, curriculum in place, evaluation is very good, culture should be there. So, what is remember? All factors are interconnected, so effectiveness requires all working. Now, for the UGC NET exam, what is important over here? Teacher is the most critical factor. PCK is the pedagogy. Content knowledge is basically subject knowledge plus teaching methods. Intrinsic motivation versus extrinsic motivation. Prior knowledge affect new learning. Teaching aids makes abstract to concrete. Teaching aid help you to able to convert an abstract idea to a reality. Then poor infrastructure will affect even good teachers are there. Positive environment means better learning opportunity. Psychological safety in the classroom is very important. Curriculum should be updated and relevant. Professional development keep teachers updated. So what is the homework for you? Already we have solved 10 MCQ, or you can, I think Madhusudha has helped me to get some more MCQ, which will float, I think, after 2-3 days. Apart from, I think, 60-70, this time there will be close to 100 or 70 maximum MCQ on this section, unit 1, you are going to appear. My target is 100, right? So that 10 units are there, 100 each question means 1000 questions you will practice. So reflection is basically what factors were strong in your college. You can analyze. Suppose as a student, you can analyze and you can give me as a homework what factors were weak, or we can discuss. I think you should think on this direction. How did it affect your learning? Think, if you will become a teacher, which factor will you focus on? Prepare questions for tomorrow's class. So tomorrow's topic will be teaching methods in the higher education. So now gradually, as we are progressing, please be active, and as already we have learned today, you have to keep motivating. I will try my best to give you whatever little knowledge I am having, but you all should keep yourself motivated so that we all will be getting success. So now what we can discuss in the next 10 minutes or so? Best teacher. All of us, we had best teacher, right? What made them effective? Then worst teaching experience, what went wrong? Your college infrastructure, is it adequate? Or any doubts about today's topic? So thank you all for giving me the opportunity to teach you. So this is I must say this is a very good class today. Tomorrow we'll be focusing on the teaching methods. So now, as I used to do in every classes, so let us finish with a quote. Good teaching is 1/4 preparation and 3/4 a theatre. So this is the famous proverb which is given by, or quote given by Gail Godwin. So teaching is basically lead to multiple factors working together, not single factors. That's what we have learned. So thank you all. Now let us focus, right, on the discussion part.